morning,
Good
Joe
morning.
and Elizabeth.
Hello.
Super happy to have you with us. Joe and I from iFinance Mortgage. We're super excited because this is our first power couple interview that we're doing. So we're really excited to have you. Thank you for coming.
We're happy to be here. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
we're-
having us.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks. We're excited as well.
Good. Well, the Demetry Team. That's a
Right.
power team in real estate. And I think what Joe and I and our viewers would like to know, could you tell us a little bit about the Demetry Team, how it came about, and just tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. So I actually got into real estate about in 2008. Got out of the business, went back to school, and then just figured out, you know what, let me go back into real estate. So I just went on a team, a successful real estate team here in Irvine. Kind of learned the ropes through them for about 2 years, and then I met Elizabeth at an open house. She brought in a buyer, and
Okay.
and I didn't even pay attention. And then
No.
a few months later, we reconnected and went out on our first date.
Wow.
And she's like,
Yep.
we know each other, right? I came to your open house, and I'm like, I can't recall. So that's, yeah, so we just kind
That's how
of
we
decided
met.
to work together, and it took a lot of convincing because she didn't want to work together. She wanted to be very independent, and
Eventually,
I convinced her, and we started working together and
Yeah.
doing our own little team, and
Yeah, so
hopefully
we
we can
created a
grow it
team.
into something amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's the power of open house, right,
Yeah.
Joe?
That's right.
It goes a long way.
Wow.
You never know who's gonna walk in.
Never
No.
know.
That's
Yeah.
right. So how long ago was that now? That
It's
first
about-
open
about
house, and then
2.5 years.
Probably 2.5 years.
2.5.
Yeah, a little,
Yeah, 2.5
a
years.
little more than 2.5 years.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So the Demetry Team formed, and
Right.
you are the broker for your
So
office, or?
I'm not the broker. I'm the team leader. We're
Okay.
under Coldwell
Mhm.
Banker, so
Oh.
Coldwell Banker's the broker.
Excellent.
But we are both kind of working on our broker's
broker-
license right
yeah,
now.
we're working
so,
on that. So
yeah, hopefully we can make it, something big and
yeah,
kind of branch out and do our own thing.
yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's awesome because a lot of times couples, it's really difficult to work together, right? Because you're
Oh,
working
man.
together all day at the office,
Yeah.
then you go home, right? So it seems like, or if you have drama at home, it follows you to the office, right?
Definitely a learning curve.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
definitely had a lot to learn with that as well.
Yeah, so
Right.
in the beginning we started butting heads a lot, and we're like, okay, we got to split this up. Like,
Gotta
how are we
divide
going to
it.
do this?
Yeah.
So we decided that Elizabeth would do more of the admin and
Mhm.
back end and support, and then I'll do more of the sales and the front end with the customers. But I mean, we kind of help each other, and if we have clients that need
Yeah.
help at the same time, then Elizabeth
It
will
does
go
come
out
in
and-
handy a lot that we both are licensed real estate agents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all know all the things about selling a home, buying a home, all of those things. But sometimes, I can't do it, so Joe does it. And sometimes Joe can't do it, so I do it. Or we're both busy. So it's helpful that there's two of us because we're there for our clients
Right.
all the time, regardless of who's doing what. Because we all have the same goal
Right.
at the end of the day.
And sometimes clients kind of gravitate towards a female or a male, so we kind of gauge it that way and
Yeah.
take it from there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's the power of the team.
Mhm.
And then, one of the challenges I think that sometimes has come up with, and we alluded to it, but it's that work-life balance.
Right.
Right?
Right.
How do you separate, your work with real estate, which we know sometimes never ends, right? It
Right.
goes into the evening hours, our weekend. But how do you find time to separate that out from work to family life?
Sure. Do you want to go?
Yeah,
talk about
I'll
that?
let you do that. And
So
I'll
we
fill in.
kind of divide things up. We're always like, okay, we're done at this time, during the weekdays or on the weekends. We're like, we'll do the open house and we'll do the follow-ups. That's it. You know what I mean? We need to cut a certain time and designate that for either spending time with each other or their family or something, you know what I mean? Something else, or doing an activity, whatever it happens to be. We also schedule date night. Like, we have a date night scheduled for this week, because otherwise we're not going to do it. And if
Can
we
you
don't
repeat that
schedule
again? You
ahead,
schedule a what?
we have a date night
A
scheduled
date
for
night.
this week.
Babe, I'm listening. I got it.
Yeah, get with that for sure. And it definitely helps because we can be like, okay, let's talk about something other than work, other than real estate, because we can talk about it all day, every day.
And
it's our job.
It's so hard not to talk
It's hard
about
not
it.
to.
It's like,
It is.
do you remember that client that drove
Did you
us
send that
crazy?
email?
Yeah.
Did you send that email?
Do you get
Right.
that thing signed? I don't know.
What's going on with those disclosures?
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
you're
always a lot of
Wait a
questions.
minute. We're on date night. That's right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we try. We try.
Yeah,
our
we
best.
definitely try to keep that on our schedule and separate work with personal stuff because there's always other personal things going on too, so that we have to take care of.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
definitely don't want to ignore them.
Right. No, and that's amazing because, working together as a couple, if you guys can remove the emotional side of it and say, hey, there's a bigger purpose here. Why are we here? Right? There's so many whys you can take away as far as working as a couple. One is you're there to serve your clients' needs, right? Help them, their first-time home buyers, help them with the American dream, right? But then if you go deeper as couples, you guys are all working for the same common goal, your home.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
why not work even harder to support each other? Because at the end of the day, you guys are a team, right? Because
Absolutely.
individuals play the game, teams win championships.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I'm
good.
really impressed with
Yeah.
you guys. You guys seem like a very powerful team because once you're together, it's you guys can sky's the limit. There's nothing you guys can't accomplish together as a team once
Absolutely.
you're united.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe and I have been doing a lot of mindset type podcast and interviews, and it just seems like, especially with the pandemic and now the challenging market, it's required a lot, in fact, everyone,
Yes.
to adjust our minds to what we need to do to be successful. And maybe we can just ask the both of you, as a power couple in real estate and in life, what mindset adjustments have you had to make to be successful during these challenging times?
It's so easy to just get caught up in the negative, right? And just,
Very
the
easy.
market's horrible, or, this is happening, and the news, it's just negativity everywhere. And so you have to get grounded. I think one of the main things is to just start your day with gratitude and just be thankful. And then what I found was
Always.
the more you're thankful, the easier it is to focus on your goals and not get distracted by the negativity. That's number one. Number two, just surround yourself with good people, that have the same goals and what they're trying to do. And I think a third thing, which I need to do more often, I'm kind of guilty of this one, is physical activity. I think, what's his name? Tony Robbins said, motion equals emotion.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're kind of feeling in a
very
funk,
true.
right, you got that, go for a run, get that dopamine going, and
Yeah.
you'll feel a lot better and you'll just hit it hard. Yeah.
Definitely makes a difference with your attitude throughout the whole day, which can totally make a difference with your production, business or personal.
That's good.
Right.
Attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
Attitude.
And then stay focused with a lot of like podcasts and audiobooks, or if you like reading, read motivational books, and just keep your mind positive all the time.
Yeah,
And
that's
keep in
good.
communication with other people too that have that positive attitude as well, because even when times are tough, there's always people out there that have that positive attitude. And when you're surrounded by that, it really keeps that going for you.
That's good.
Right. It's like you say, you mentioned Tony Robbins. I like one of the quotes that Anthony Robbins talks about. He says, it's not what happens to you, right? It's how you react to what happens
Right.
to you, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Right.
It's that
Absolutely.
mindset.
100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think with, as you mentioned, surrounding yourself with good people. What's the saying that the 5 people that you associate yourself with is who you are,
Exactly.
right? Or who you will become.
Right.
So
Exactly.
and I know personally, I've had to take a look at and no offense to all my friends out there, but who you associate with is so vital. It's important to your mindset, your positivity, and if there's individuals that suck the life out of us and suck our time away from each other, those are kind of folks we tend to say, I'm busy, I can't get together right now,
Right.
and
Yeah.
eventually maybe we even weed them out of our life.
Right.
Misery loves company.
Right.
Always does. And it's definitely helpful as a couple as well, because as a team, we're together for work and it's just us. So if Joe's having a rough time with something, with a transaction, I'm always encouraging him like, hey, you'll get through it. I'm here to help. Like, you're not on your own, you know.
Yeah.
And
Got
that's
this.
also
I'm
helpful.
lucky in that aspect.
Yes.
And he does the same thing for me. I mean, it always happens at some
amazing.
point. So it's helpful as a couple as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, what better, backbone to have as your spouse, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
To tell you, hey, to be like your number one cheerleader, you can do this, Instead of saying, hey, you suck, you're a loser, No, it's the opposite, right? It's like, no, you
Right.
can do it. I believe in you. Let's go.
It's honestly a
let it
blessing
go.
to have
Yeah.
your spouse be on the same page with you,
Yeah.
have that same mental state about your business, and
have the same goals,
and have the same goals. Yeah, that's one of the things that attracted me to Elizabeth. Is like, okay, we're both in the same industry, we're talking the same language, and we have the
We're
same
on the same
goals. I'm like,
page.
okay, like let's make this something special.
Right.
And, let's work together and make it happen. So
Yeah, that's amazing because they say that obstacles is what you see when you keep your eyes off the prize, right?
Right.
So when you're busy achieving your goals, working as a team, there's very little time for drama, right? You just
It's a
kind
waste of time.
so you're just kind of looking ahead. Hey, what's my team? What's next? Let's go on to the next deal.
Right. And just write down your goals. Make sure you're focused on those goals. Okay. And make sure you're measuring them. And that way you're like, okay, am I hitting the goals? Am I off? What do I need to change? And just, okay, like, are we on track? So
Yeah, and that always that's ever changing. It's always changing because the market is always changing, and there's
Right.
always different conditions, and there's always different goals for our clients, and that's also going to affect how we reach that. So
Yeah, that's a good point. And Joe and I heard an acronym the other day from the CEO and president of UWM, United Wholesale Mortgage, Matt Ishbia, and he said, WIN. Always win, WIN. And WIN stands for what's important now.
right.
So knowing your priorities, writing, what do I got to get done today?
Right.
Yeah.
I have to get this done. These other items I'd like to get done. If not, I'll push to another day, but this is what I have to do now. What's important right now?
right.
Right.
And date night, right up there. And we work everything around, family first, our beliefs and our business. All of that has a huge
Right.
impact
Absolutely.
on this, And so I wrote down, I love the point, Joe, you made, gratitude. Wake up thankful. Sometimes we may wake up with Instagram or we wake up with some form of social media. But, when you think about it, is there some better way that we can wake up, to get our mind going, get our gratitude going, and get our, our day ready?
Right.
Absolutely.
What I used to do is actually have a gratitude journal. And so right when I wake up, I would write, X amount of times, 10 things I'm thankful for today, and 10 things I'm thankful for yesterday. And, I'll write down my goals for the day. And it just kind of keeps your mind grounded.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful because a lot of times we take life for granted, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
If you wake up with gratitude, you start to realize, wow, I actually woke up. Because think about, like this morning, right? How many people didn't wake up this morning?
Yeah.
How many
Right.
people didn't make it, right?
Right.
We're here,
Yep.
right? But a lot of times you get caught in the day-to-day that you don't take that time to be grateful for the fact that you're alive, you have good health,
Right.
you have a good family, you have good people, you have a good team. So there's always something to be grateful for every single day.
Absolutely.
I was wondering too, with having the right mindset and, really, it starts, we have to train ourselves, but then being able to be a mindset influencer in a positive way so that other people are attracted to our minds, to us, saying, that's a person I want to spend time with. That's a person I can really benefit from. And I think the four of us here really have that aura about us.
Yeah.
We come with a giving spirit, and that's the nature of our business, right?
Right.
Is giving. We're always listening to people, but what can we provide for you? And maybe you could tell us just a little bit about the Demetry Team. What would you say sets you apart when it comes to real estate? And you work with your clients, and what do you do that really is form of giving and wants them to draw closer to you and use your team?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you have to come in with that mindset of service, like you were talking about. If you come in with, how can I make the most money?
Yeah.
You're not going to go anywhere. You want to make sure that you serve your clients well, and you take care of them, and make sure that they're happy, and the money will come. My main focus is making sure that I can serve my clients the best way we can. And then I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, that's pretty much it. Our goal is to achieve their goals with real estate, whether it's them buying an investment, buying their first home, or selling, or moving out of state, whatever it is, our goal is to reach their goal. And so that's our goal at that point.
And create the most value for them.
Yeah, create the most value for them and serve them the best way we possibly can.
And then everything follows from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really good because, and Joe and I are very, very similar. You know, most people in our line of work and business, we have the same tools available to us. We can look up mortgage rates, let's say in this case. We can look up, and people have access to the same lenders, the same investors. But what is it that sets us apart? What is it that is going to make people say, well, this is the lender or this is the real estate team and couple I want to work with? And I think it's encouraging to see that. I love hearing the word service first.
Yeah.
Money follows. We know that in our business.
Right.
And when Joe and I interview people, and we brought on several new loan officers recently, that's one of the first questions we ask them. Why do you want to get into this business? And when they tell us, oh, we can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
The flag starts to go up a little bit,
right,
and
yeah.
hopefully we can get around that, but we're prying into their mindset a little bit.
Right.
Service first.
And that's one of the first reasons that we decided that it was a great decision for us to work together even before we got married, because we had the same mindset.
Yeah.
And we have the same goals. And so that's another thing, and that helps us achieve a lot of our goals as well. So.
In addition to service, what sets us apart as well is we like to educate our clients, break things down, be very transparent.
Yeah, very.
We'll tell them, like, you know what, this might not be a good option for you because of X, Y, and Z. And really just take away all the question marks of the transaction as much as we can, so it can be a very smooth and easygoing transaction.
Yeah, if there's a way we can help our clients avoid stress and have them not be shocked by some prices and some costs that are involved with it, they are honestly always very helpful. It's always very helpful to them, and they feel so much relief when that happens, because a lot of the time when buyers are shocked by the costs of some of the things that are involved, for example, the inspections, the appraisal, all of those, there's a cost to it, and when you don't educate them, they get really surprised sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
We like to set that expectation.
Setting expectations.
Here we're laying the groundwork from day one. This is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And that way there's no surprises, and just want to make that a good experience for them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
you're building the trust factor.
Absolutely.
Right? When what is it? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
Right? When they can sense that in a meeting or when you're together and you're basically interviewing their needs, right? What's important to you, and what are you trying to accomplish? All those things. And once you get that information, and then they can see that the questions you're asking and you're actively listening to them.
That's another one. Is
Absolutely.
actively listening.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk less and listen more.
Right. Yeah.
Is the big one.
Well, we got two of these and just one of these.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's good. And I wanted to make a personal comment about Elizabeth, because I've known her for quite a while in the chamber, and I can see one of the attractive points for you, Joe. She has always been a tremendously hard worker in the chamber for her clients, and that's what attracted us to her. As far as volunteer spirit, she would volunteer for everything and anything, and it was truly appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, we know you did what you could, and you had
Appreciate
a
it.
busy life and a busy schedule, but hard working and just caring about the clients. So what a perfect fit, and we
Thank you. Yeah,
getting to
she's
know you better too, Joe. So we
she's
see
incredible.
that in you.
I'm very lucky and blessed, and I
learned
wouldn't
a
have
lot
it any
from
other
Joe,
way.
so.
Wow, that's great. And maybe about the market a little bit here. We know, and you mentioned it's doing this. It's like a slippery slope sometimes. What are you seeing in the market? What have you done to perhaps even change or adjust, pivot your marketing efforts to reach more clients and to gain more clients?
Do you want to touch base on?
Sure.
that?
So there are a few challenges in the market right now. There's one of the main challenges is the supply and demand. So the supply is really low right now. There's not many homes available out there, but the demand is also very low because of the high interest rates. So that's a challenge that we've been facing lately. With buyers, one of the ways that we kind of achieve that, when there isn't a home out there that they're interested in, we contact the owners directly, and we do off-market transactions to find them a home that meets their needs, because we want the buyer to be satisfied and to be happy with that. Sellers are facing a different kind of challenge right now, that has an effect on us, of course, but they want the price of the home that was back in 2021. They're still back, and so again, we have to ground them, keep them educated, update them on the market conditions, and make sure that they understand why things are happening. They need to know why things are going on. If they're not educated, they're just going to be back in 2021.
Right.
So that's one of our main challenges. Yeah.
So back to that, how are we pivoting to the market and our marketing? We have to be very targeted as far as how we're marketing.
Very targeted.
Do more activity. It's that simple.
Talk to more people.
Talk to more people. Do more activity. Do open houses. We're doing more mailers. We're focusing on different types of sellers, different types of buyers. But overall, people, no matter what market we're in, people still need to move. They outgrow their home. They have a job relocation.
Downsizing.
Yeah, there's downsizing. There's divorce. There's all kinds of things. So doesn't matter what market we're in. Just keep your head down. Do the work, do the activity, and things will happen.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. We were just talking about doing activity, right? Because I think a lot of realtors and even loan officers got spoiled.
Yes.
When the rates were low, right?
Yeah, totally.
We all
The
did.
market was pretty easy, but when you work an easy market, you never grow,
Right.
And now in the challenging markets, this is where you grow, right? You're either going to sink or swim. There's no other option, right? There's no middle ground. The fact that you said be active, keep moving forward, keeping a positive mindset, I think that would help a lot of agents in this market. Is it challenging? Yeah, absolutely, right? But like you said, whether it's a good market or a bad market, people are always buying and selling, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But if
always.
you're focused, if you're engaged with your market, and you're actively doing marketing, whether it's flyers, door knocking, you're going to get that phone call because people are going to see, right?
Absolutely.
It's like the law of rowing, the law of the law of sowing and reaping, right?
Yes.
You sow what you reap, right? So
Yeah.
right now we're just planting seeds, and you just got to water it, right?
Right.
The
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say the other thing we love doing, and it's fun for us anyway, regardless, is staying in contact with our past clients.
Yeah.
We become their friends after so long.
Right.
We
Oh,
spent
yeah.
hours. We spent hours with them, helping them find their first home or achieve whatever their goal was. And we love to stay in contact with them, see the updates they've done to the home, see how their kids are doing. It's always nice to do that. And then they're like, "Hey, by the way, my friend wants to sell their house.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe they would work with you." So it's happened more than once.
Right.
Just do
It's a lot of fun.
what you're supposed to do in regards to connecting with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reach out to all your past clients, your friends, your sphere. Just, hey, how's it going? How are you?
Right.
How's work? How's life?
Yep.
And that conversation will just evolve from there.
Always. Yeah.
That's a good point, because I think where a lot of loan officers, maybe even some realtors too, is we don't take advantage of the post-closing opportunity. The transaction's done. There's a lot of effort that went into it. We gained some friends, but sometimes we're not quick to follow with them. And personal interest. How's your family doing?
Right.
We'll get to your home and maybe if you know somebody that could use our help. How are you doing? How are you doing in these challenging times? People love to share about that.
Oh, yeah.
That is something that definitely I can see sets you apart, and it sets us apart too.
Right.
We endeavor to do the same thing. Just call people up. How's it going? Hey, we thought of you the other day. You're in San Francisco. Giants aren't doing so good right now, or they are, or whatever, But show, and I know they like baseball, right? We gave them a hat, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just that extra.
Well, it goes back to caring, right? It's that relationship base. keeping that relationship going. Like, it's not all, like, again, it's not all about the business. It's like, hey, you know, what's going on? How's life? What have you been up to? Always try to come in with value and not taking from the conversation.
Yeah.
Don't come in asking for something. Just come in genuinely like, hey, I just want to see how you're doing. How's life? How's family? And you never know. Things like, hey, you know what? My sister wants to buy a house. I'm glad you called. Or I'm thinking about refinancing. Do you know anybody? Or, I mean, things will just come up, right? But I think if you come in just being genuine and just keeping that relationship going, that's the business.
Keep it simple. Give and you shall receive. That's what I always say.
It's like they say, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Right?
That too.
If you're not in front of your past clients or your current clients, somebody else will.
Right.
That's right.
And then you're going to be like, oh, they bought a house or they sold a house. Why did they call me? And then you ask them, well, when was the last time I called that client?
You know, it's funny. I used to get really upset when, like, a family member or a friend or even, like, someone I know that just, oh, I just bought a house. Are you kidding me? You know, I was in real estate. We just had a conversation. It's like, but you know what? That was my fault because I wasn't in flow with our clients or with our family or our sphere. You know, it's we expect people to think of us randomly when they need it, but that's not the case. It's whoever's in their flow or in their mind at that moment.
Right.
And so it's our job to just, hey, you know, what's going on? Like, do you need is there anything I can do to help? Or, you know, just wanted to say hi. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Or, you know, I just was down the street helping another client and thought of you and happened to be on the same street. And so simple things like that.
Right. And that's interesting what you say, Joe, because that happens a lot in our industry, right? Because a lot of times, you know, whether we're real estate agents or loan officers, if we're like at a function, family function, or just out and about, a lot of times we don't talk to people what we do. Right. And sometimes we're afraid. Sometimes we don't want to, like, sound boring. But you have to, because that person you're talking to, they might be thinking of buying a house, or they might know someone that's thinking of it, whether it's their son, a daughter, a cousin. So it's always important as agents to always, you know, give a 15-second commercial about yourself, give a business card, and remind people of what you do. Because if you do that and you're staying in front of them, when someone thinks of selling or buying, they're going to think of you.
It's like you said, plant the seed, and eventually, and just nurture it. Just nurture
keep watering it and fertilizing it. And you know, one thing that's worked well for me when I go to an event or even if it's at dinner, you know, with others, is I always ask them, in addition to, you know, how are you guys doing during these challenging financial times, blah, blah, blah. But I usually ask them about their business. How's your business doing? I know these times are challenging for a lot of people. How's your? Ask them that question. People like to talk about what they do, especially men. They love to talk about their business because, you know, if they're happen to be the sole provider of the family, that weighs heavily on their mind and their heart. So they're going to talk about their business. Obviously, our hardworking females as well. But I find that by opening that door, asking them, if they. Most of them will ask me, "Oh, how's yours? You're in the mortgage business, right?" Yeah. Gives me an opportunity to talk instead of coming out cold with them, you know. But and if they don't ask, some don't. Like we were trained to do one-on-ones, you know, in the chamber and all that. And if they don't ask, I usually say, "Hey, you mind if I share a little something that I heard the other day in our line of work?" You know, and then just share a helpful tip or whatever. Never know where it goes.
Absolutely. And
stir up some interest.
It's part of their identity, right? Their work. And so, yeah, I totally agree, 100%.
Maybe as a wrap up to our time together here, if there's any other couples, or we'll broaden it out a little bit, individuals that are looking to either start a business or they're trying to figure out how to get through these challenging times to be successful, as you've reached some nice measures of success. What advice would you have to offer maybe a couple or others?
That's a great question.
You can go a lot of different directions.
Yeah, so I'll try to keep it brief because it can get really deep. I would say the very first step is really understand your why. Why are you doing this?
What is your goal?
Well, yeah, and like what makes this
What's
special for
motivating
you,
you, yeah.
right? Why are you in this line of work? Because if it has meaning to you, you'll go through the ups and downs, and you'll manage to get past all that. If it's just like, oh, I'm there for the money, or I heard this, it's a good industry, or a friend of mine told me about this, so I'm going to check it out, or whatever. Once things get hard, you're going to jump ship.
Yep.
So
We see that.
Yeah, and I mean, just to add to that, something that I've been hearing lately is that something like 25 to 30% of real estate agents have quit since
yeah.
the
Wow.
interest rate increased. And that's huge. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with their lack of why
Yeah.
they're doing it.
Yeah. So number one, know your why. Number two, I would say learn as much as you can from someone that's very successful.
Yeah.
When I first started out, I learned from a very successful real estate agent that had his own team. At the time, he was doing about 150 transactions a year. And so I said, you know what? If I'm going to be great, I have to learn from the great.
From the best.
That's right.
And so
And I did the same
get
thing.
that mentor, get that coach, get that experience before you jump
Ship
into it
off
on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Absolutely.
say that.
I was also on a team, and I learned a lot from them as well, and it definitely was helpful. We also both have taken a lot of classes and education-related things online, and the more knowledge you have, the more you can serve others. And so that's also something that's really crucial to the education.
Right. And I would say number three, make sure you have some type of reserve.
Yes.
And really understand your budget and treat your business as a business. It's very easy to be self-employed and just kind of wake up late and not have a schedule, and
lazy.
you don't really have a boss,
You
right?
feel independent.
So it's just like, have the activities you need to do, measure them,
And set a budget.
and be very, very meticulous about how you're spending the money, where the money's coming from. Have that reserve, because business will be good, business will be bad, and until you have that consistency, it's really good to have that reserve there and to keep you afloat.
Absolutely. It's crucial, actually, because you can easily spend thousands and thousands of dollars as a real estate agent. You could hire other people to do other things. You could do this. You could pay for that.
Marketing,
And it
advertising.
can cost a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
suddenly the market changes, and you don't even know what to do at that point. And so it's very clear to like the high expenses with real estate, but it can be like that with any business, regardless of what you're doing as self-employed. So that's something that I think is crucial. I'm the numbers kind of person, so.
Just be organized.
Yes, be very organized.
And just have a system in place.
Yeah,
And
crucial.
learn from the best.
That's really good, solid advice.
Yeah.
And I think for us too, we go back to very similar. When you wake up in the morning, know what your why is. Our why is our family, and we do anything. We would protect them against any invader, to fight to the death to protect our family. So while we're living, why not go even to greater measures to say, this is my why. This is my wife. This is who I take care of. This is my husband. This is who I support. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I think that this is so exciting for us, Joe and Elizabeth, because this is our first inaugural power couple team. And you've given us and those that will listen to us some really good nuggets of advice.
Thanks.
And you did it in such a way that was very conversational. And I love the way you fed off each other's energy, almost finishing each other's sentences. A true power couple does that.
We do that a lot.
Yeah, it happens often.
Well, good. Thank you
it.
so
Thank you for
much
thinking of us.
again,
Thank
Joe and Elizabeth from the Demetry Team.
Thank you.
And we wish you the greatest of success as we complete this year of 2023 and move into the future years where we're confident the rates are going to be better.
Yes.
That's right.
Right? We do
100%.
this with the rates all the
Yeah,
time.
all the
We're just
time.
positioning ourselves right now to take care of all of our clients. So
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
thank you again for
Absolutely.
joining
Thank
us
you, guys.
today.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.